Hey, welcome back to episode 5 of The World According to Frank Castle, part 2 of the Origin of Microchip. I'm going to begin this live stream that I have been doing a live stream. I was doing one for about 15 minutes on this until I gazed down and noticed that my mic wasn't on. I was doing a whole bunch and my mic was not on, and I was just talking. I was just videoing myself talk, and there was no audio. So, of course, I went back and I deleted it because useless video. I don't need to look like as much as a dummy. I know I'm a dummy, and I don't need to look like it. So, I'm trying this again now. All right, and I hope I had somebody watching. I hope they come back because I'm a big dum dum, and I'm gonna have to start over. I'm gonna try to catch what I was saying. I don't remember. I actually had some gold in there, but I don't remember what it was. I really don't remember what it was. So I'm going to try to recapture that magic. I'm going to take a sip of whiskey, and I'm just going to say, it's been good. I'm going to have some more stuff for you. Sorry, I missed the last 3 days. That's what I was talking about. I missed 3 days. 2 days. I missed 2 days. And I'm going to be fitting in some shows between the days. So I'm gonna have one tomorrow afternoon for you, a Punisher 2099 issue. That was what I covered in there, and that's what I decided as the show went on. Now I'm completely amiss. My brain is a complete fog. I was doing so hot. I was going off on the Origin of Microchip. I was like pretty much a good chunk into the story, into what everything was. I've also had some other stuff to say. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I didn't talk about it, but that Double or Nothing, huh? That AEW thing. Didn't watch all of it. Saw a few matches, like the Dustin Rhodes and Cody Rhodes there. It's a good match. I'm just really trying to remember what I was talking about. It's going to bother me, and I don't feel like I'll be able to get. The comic's not very good this time around. These Origin of Microchip things haven't been very good, and I was already diving deep into it, and now I got to go back. I got to talk about this thing that I wasn't really big on. And I love the Punisher. The whole reason I did this is so I could be gleeful about the dumb shit that happens in it. But this kind of stinks. And I've devoted way more time to it, because even in the first one, I messed up about halfway through the comic and I had to do it again. These are cursed things. These are cursed fucking things that are haunting me. They're haunting me, and they are nipping at my heels, and I can't stand it. And I'm very sorry that I'm taking so long and going on and on. But I just can't do it. I will. Don't get me wrong, I will. I'm just going to try to muster up some courage. Strong. Ooh, that's strong. And I've noticed that I can't help but make like even when I love the liquor, I can't help but making like a little kid face, as you can notice. Like, this is delicious. But I know my face betrays me. It doesn't betray me. You know what I mean. It's lying. It's lying on my behalf. No, that's not it. Man, I am so messed up after fucking up now. This is going to take a second to get back into it. All right, so how you guys doing? You doing good? Nobody in the chat? Not that I think so. We're just starting. I'll do this for nobody. I'm doing this for me. All right? But yeah, no, I'm very sorry that I'm just rambling. This isn't what anybody should have to put up with. And in a second, I'm going to share it on Twitter that I'm doing this thing, because I already put it on Facebook, and then whoever clicked it just saw like a bunch of silence, and they're like, look at this dumbass, and didn't have the decency to tell me, as if anybody saw it. But all right, here we go. Episode 5 of my Frank Castle podcast. YouTube show. Sorry, this ain't no podcast. Ain't no podcast, it's a show. We're putting on a show tonight. Ain't no podcast. What I look like. I don't look like nobody. Do I look like a Scott Ackerman? No. Do I look like a Ira Glass? No. Todd Glass? No. Jimmy Pardo? No. I ain't no podcast boy. I'm a YouTube man. All right. Now that I feel like I got a group going now, let's go into the origin. Let me make sure my mic's on and the video's going, that there's not like that the lights haven't gone out and I'm just so blind from confusion and disarray that I don't know what's going on no more. So, look at this fucking cover here. Origin of Microchip Part 2. Look at this fucking guy. God, they could have made him more unlikable looking if they even tried. Look at him. Ugh. Looks like Bryan Cranston's cousin, but in the 80s. I don't know why, but it just does. Like, this is Bryan Cranston's cousin in the 80s who's going to go party with him and try to get some of that commercial or off-Broadway money or whatever Cranston was doing in the 80s. Or 90s and get that Cranston Seinfeld money. So, yeah, look at him. Fucking soul patch, green glasses, bowl cut. Like, but it looks like an expensive bowl cut. That's what throws me off. Like, it still looks like put a fucking cereal bowl there, but it still looked like it cost a lot of money. And then we got Frank and the Crack. Yeah, and that his blinger watch. Yeah, so this is just unlikable Micro. Oh, and Shades of Micro Past. You always have that behind you on a mirror. Or in front of you, I guess. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what that is. So, back into diving into this. Hey, Biggie Shaq, what's going on, my man? Thank you for coming in on this. It's been a night. I'm glad to have someone here. Big shouts. But yeah, no, just look at him. Like, goddamn. Unlikable. And I love Microchip. That's an amazing character. But this ain't my Microchip. Any which ways, let's start this off for the second time. All right. So we got here. Oh yeah, I gotta run through the story. Microchip in college. He has a dumb friend who gambles, need money, tells him to change grades so he stay class. Robs Micro, gets his grades changed. Professor find out. Professor no like Micro. Professor blackmail Micro. And robbing a bank owned by mob mad. Issue 2. Oh yeah, and Frank Castle there, he in army, he sees bad things happen, people become bad. Bumps into Micro while working for the recruitment office. They exchange words. He says, "Micro, go home." And that's really it. It's just like a bump and like, oh, hey, like they have a meet cute. Who wants that? Anyway, starts off, Micro's professor partner is getting just stabbed in the back immediately. His only line of dialogue is, no! Because, you know, fuck that guy. Micro calls him an idiot. Pretty much like, oh, I told that idiot we wouldn't get away with this because... Like, the guy just got stabbed in the back. You're going to call him an idiot? I don't know about that. Like, it's insane. And then, you know, murders his whole family. You know, Micro calls him an idiot. And, yeah, it's just insane. And Micro gets out of there. The guards don't notice that there's coffee and beer. But they're like, 2 people searched the premises. But somehow he got away. And that's all we see of that gang, by the way. Micro is running away. Spoiler alert, he's running away from him. He doesn't get fucking caught. There's no reason for that to have happened at all in this thing. They posed a threat that they could have found him at any point, but they never did, and they weren't even introduced or part of any of it. So he has to go in and tell his girlfriend that he's leaving, and there's some really weird melodramatic stuff in here, like, and he sums it up. He sums up what's going on. Like he's like, "Oh, you have to get up, Jen. Oh, what time is it? Oh yeah, that's what it was. What time is it? Trouble. You've got to get dressed quickly. You've got to get out of town. Linus, what are you talking about? Halliday blackmailed me into helping him defraud a bank, but the bank was mob-owned, and they found out last night. They came to Halliday's house and slaughtered everyone. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, it's a bunch of stuff like that. Then she's like, hey, you dumb idiot. Why'd you do this? Now I'm in trouble. She dips. He's already changing his identity real quick. Yeah, so this thing moves along real quick, except for when it doesn't, and it focuses two full pages on Micro trying to get stabbed because he's offering hacker for hire work now. And yeah, and so he goes to get attacked, whops the guy right on the neck. Whop. This thing bent. Who gives a shit? But yeah, so he's just doing that. Now he has to be on the run, selling things. Oh, and by the way, Punisher exists. Might as well tell you that. And then that's what this page is for, to tell you Punisher exists. But it looks goddamn cool. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anything with the Punisher at the epicenter on a motorcycle. It's cool. It's undeniably cool. So Punisher's doing his thing. Just to let you know that after they bumped into each other, that they're, oh, that's right, the street of San Francisco. Look at this one, 6 foot stretch, 10-foot stretch of San Francisco is like a bunch of people doing yoga, a guy on a unicycle and juggling, a woman on guitar, because that's every square inch of San Francisco, apparently. That's not just the kind of stuff you see spread out. That's every square inch is packed with people doing yoga, unicycling, and juggling, and playing guitar. So, and then he goes spies on his family for a little bit. And then there's this whole weird thing where it's only weird because the art's kind of lazy, which I don't care about lazy art. It happens. I couldn't draw 2 stick figures fucking a bug. I couldn't do any of that. But you got these guys. They're just sitting in the car and they reverse positions. They just keep switching positions. The only reason I noticed is because I was confused with the dialogue bubbles. I'm like, who's saying what now? And swap. They're playing some kind of fun car game where they're switching seats all the time. So yeah, then it cuts to Punisher with his weapons dude, who is some kind of criminal, but I guess Punisher doesn't give a shit as long as he's selling him weapons. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so it's insane. And he gets his son. He finds his son, who is a local student, wins science scholarship. I don't get the timeline. I don't get the timeline. But whatever, there it is. And then he meets up with his buddy Jesus, Salud. Oh, and he invented the Da Vinci virus, apparently, but they call it Leonardo. I didn't do any research. I don't know what came first. I don't know if Da Vinci virus is something that's been around since the 80s and you just call it Leonardo. If there was a Leonardo virus, I just don't know. If you guys know, if anybody knows, that'd be cool. But yeah. Well, hold on. Had a situation earlier. Thought the corpse was turning on me. Had to smooth it out. Oh, man. All right, man. As long as you hang in there, man. Just stay tough, dude. You got it. But yeah, it's insane. Back to this. So Da Vinci virus, and yeah, fly with the wind. Jesus, sorry, not Jesus. Jesus. He says salud. He goes around, and then he gets email from a stranger, and it's just some kid in college who takes down the Marxist agenda of colleges, as was mentioned as a big part in the last book. And again, this doesn't come to fruition. Nothing comes from that. I don't get it. I don't get why that was thrown in there. He gives the Leonardo virus to some kid who just talked like he did in the first issue about Marxism in colleges. That had to be thrown in there, so it did. Anyway, Punisher's doing some stuff. His buddy gets killed, but he's not in classic skull. He's in white tee. So I don't know what's going on. And then he meets up with Micro in the woods because he sends him an email, calls himself Codename Citadel. It's not the same thing as the college kid, which is what I thought. Different thing. Anyway, he's there. He's with Frank. He's like, you're the one who said I couldn't go into war, man. You ruined my life. Because he would have been spared from having to blackmail and all that bullshit that happened. That doesn't really matter now because that guy's dead and he's on the run from a gang that's never going to catch him or even pursue him, it seems. So he joins up with Frank, who they concoct some pretty awesome plan. It's pretty complicated, and it's the whole thing. I couldn't even retell it to you, and I'm not going to read it to try to figure it out. Nice, solid plan to try to funnel money out of somebody, get some, and then just murderize some horrible executives of a place. That's all it is. And yeah, they just go in. Frank just goes in and Frank's up the place, throws that knife. That's an awesome panel. As much shit as I'm talking about this thing, that's an awesome panel. Frank just launching that knife right there. I gotta say, I'd wear that on the t-shirt. And then all of a sudden we get to the CEO where for some reason Micro's there while Punisher's blasting this guy. Like Micro's unarmed as far as he's unarmed. And he's not like a combat expert. He's just standing there behind him. And like Micro's a criminal and Punisher's just kind of chilling with him and they never talked about it. And Frank's just like, hey, Microchip, you know your stuff. How'd you like to work for me? I don't know. I got flat feet, Frank. Flat feet. Call back to the thing. The Army Recruitment Center. Sorry. So, yeah. It's there. He comes out. He's with Frank Castle. They're going to his apartment. He's like, is this it? Hey, Microman, what are you staring at? And then it's like, hi, Dad. And it's his son. And then it says, if you want to know more about Microchip's past, then let us know. And done. And it's done. It's completely done. So, there's that for that issue. Not too great. I don't know if I ever completed it. I really don't care. I don't want to know what happened with Micro and his son. I think his son died, which I thought it was his son who died, who sent him on this whole path of vigilantism, but apparently it's not. Apparently his son's still alive or was alive. It was very confusing. I thought I knew that. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, back to... that pretty much concludes that. I'm going to be doing more episodes tomorrow, then Sunday, then Tuesday. So I'll be doing an episode tomorrow. So thank you guys for bearing with everything. My hat's off to you. I'll see you next week. Be sure to watch this. Be sure to watch 90 Miles from Comics every Wednesday with Chad and Javi. Best guys ever. So thank you guys. Good night.